County Attorney's Office, Paul Howard Jr. Paul, thanks for having us.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Paul played with, obviously, was David's quarterback, so he's a man that knows sports.
He told me all my plays. I ain't gonna lie. He told me my plays. Me and Doug Jr.
Yeah.
Hey, but I will tell you this. He got so mad because we was putting the ball on the ground that first state championship game.
Yep.
And if you go back and watch film, he got so mad. I remember me and Doug both was fumbling and stuff and we was going off to the sideline and that one ball bounced out or whatever and he smacked the ball so hard out of the ground. He was so mad. He looked at coach. He was like doing all this and I looked over and I said, let me take my gloves off. I was like, let me go ahead and do it. I know he about to come tell me take my gloves off.
You was putting it on the ground and he was putting it in the end zone.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. A lot of people don't understand or don't know is how we won that first state title. Number one, we had to stop the Chris Todd. He was the Tim Couch of our era.
Yep.
And he was the one that got the interception.
Yep.
And then he is my witness. Tyler Bossett got in the end zone.
Yep.
He scored before it was 4th and goal. He scored. He was in the end zone. And then they called my number. I'm gonna tell you, boy, I've never been that nervous. I don't get nervous. I was so nervous, man. I turned white. Coach, he was looking at me in my eyes, and Coach Mick looked at me. I'm like, I don't know about this. And then Paul Jr. come to me and say, you better get in. And I was like, I got it.
Well, I've always said, Paul wasn't, 6 foot, 6'5", 6'6" like Tim Couch, or he wasn't, 6'3" like Jonathan Wright, and have an arm that could, he could throw it from one end of the field to the other. But you will never find another quarterback that can run that Belfry system like Paul Howard Jr.
I totally agree. And it boils down to knowing what each position does.
Yep.
And knowing, all right, if I see this, what can work? Because I knew numerous times he'd come over to the side and he'd be like, this ain't gonna work. This what's gonna work, and we get into it and we get a big yardage or a touchdown.
Yeah, well, as we get down memory lane here, we want to, remind people and make sure people know. A lot of people don't realize, and a lot of people of our fans that's been with us from day one, D&D Sports Network wouldn't be doing what we do for these kids and wouldn't be the largest media outlet in the mountains if it wasn't for this man over here taking a chance on us. We went in there, had probably 50 followers to our name, and we had an ideal. And listen, Paul, he just got out of college, just become a lawyer, and I know. Listen, I know that money that he was spending was probably a quarter of what he was making. Yeah. But he mainly he was friends enough with you to take a chance on us, and Paul, I think it's paid off.
Yes. I think that was in November of 2015. Because I just got sworn in October of that year, and you all came in a month later, and I was thinking, I've had one case. One case, and I'm like, oh man, that's a lot of money, but it's for good cause. I know that Dave's all about the kids, and I know you are too, Darryl. And you look how far you come, today, and that's all that matters to me. I'm all about, getting the kids the exposure they need, getting these games streamed so more people can watch them. You have family members who don't live in the area anymore who are able to watch their, nephews, nieces, grandchildren, and that wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you all. And I'm sure a lot of the area is thankful for that.
Yeah, and one of the things I'm most proud of is, our election record's 21-2, and we got, Paul Jr. When a lot of people counted him out, we definitely worked our tails off, and you see now, we're sitting here at the Pike County Attorney's office.
That's huge. When I seen it, I was like, that's my quarterback, y'all.
Yeah.
I did the TO.
That's it. Yep.
I didn't cry, though.
Yep. So as we're sitting here, guys, this weekend, a lot of big things happened for D&D Sports Network. Last week when we left the show, we teased some big news that could change the landscape of what we do here in the mountains and really help the area kids as well. that news, we broke it. Huntington Prep signed a deal with us. We are exclusively doing Huntington Prep's ball games this coming season. People says, why is that important? Huntington Prep was always it's by far the biggest basketball program when we was growing up. And now, it's, you want to know why it's important? They got the number one player in the nation, which is Darren Peterson, who is the only player that UK has offered. It's UK's number one target, and he's the number one player in the entire nation. And you're going to be watching him night in, night out on D&D Sports Network. That's going to be huge because all these coaches, all these people from around the nation, all these, the UK coaching staff, guess what? They're going to be watching, they're going to be watching the Betty Lane Bobcats. It's going to pop up, we're live, and then they're going to see the Betty Lane Bobcats, So this is a huge opportunity. We always say we've kind of built this. Matt Jones at KSR has kind of been a big mentor of ours, and we've kind of done it like him. He caught his break when he, got connected with Patrick Patterson, and that's where he caught his break.
Now, our views isn't like him. But.
No.
let me
state that. And now, no, definitely not. We don't have the same political views. But,
at all.
But he, and now, this right here could be the break that breaks it open. So we're really excited about this Huntington Prep deal, guys. I don't think this right here is by far the biggest thing D&D has ever done to this day.
Yeah, all the hard work and all that is, that's what we strive to do. Get a platform like that. Now that platform helps others.
Yep.
And that's what we always strive to do is, help others with other people. If one eat, we all eat.
That's it.
That's a big blessing, and I know Thomas, worked diligently on that and had some tired nights on the plane, getting off plane, writing contracts up and stuff. We was up at doing the show in West Virginia, and we was sweating, we was trying to say something, couldn't say nothing, but I'm excited. I know my brother was excited when he lives in Huntington and stuff, and he was excited when he said, "Bro, how in the heck y'all get that?"
They got 7 players in the NBA right now.
Yeah. I try to tell him, I'm like, it's Stephen A. Smith right here.
And I guess probably the biggest star coming out of there was Andrew Wiggins. He had the number one overall pick back, in 2013,
and
I think
you
it
had, Keldon Johnson that played in Kentucky.
Keldon Johnson, you got, Josh Primo. You can go on down JT Thor. There's
Thor. I forgot about him.
So there's,
I'm excited, y'all.
I'm very excited, and I just think this opportunity. The thing that we're looking, not only is it going to help Huntington Prep, because it's going to help build their brand to people around here, but it's going to help our mountain kids.
That's
the big thing we're excited about. Now, another big thing we done this weekend. We went to Breathitt County and Bloody Breathitt and done AMW Wrestling pay-per-view.
Bloody Breathitt.
Yep, first pay-per-view D&D Sports has ever done. So that's another first.
We got another place called Bloody, because I'm from Bloody Mead.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
So we got another place called. Okay, so I got a cousin out there.
On each side. Yep.
Okay.
So but no, it went off really well. 2 weekends, or next weekend, they're going to have an event at Pike Central. So make sure you guys get out and see it. Bobby Love, Bobby Builder, is in it. Kyle Maggard. All the big stars. Chris Michaels. It's a big deal in the wrestling world. Yeah. So
Chris Michaels.
Honestly, I was a little. I didn't know what to expect, but they put on a really good show, because when you're sitting here at the monitor streaming the whole thing, you're paying so much attention. And I have to give a shout out to our guy Jackson. Mm-hmm. Man, he had some close-ups. It looked. It looked legit, man.
The video, I would do that.
Yeah, it was legit. That was pretty fun.
And I know one of our buddies, Justin McCoy. He had went and took his daughters to it, and he had a heck of a time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And he told that time, I was like, man, I'd like to go to that. So
and watching the little kids, Darryl, that was the classic when the theme music came on and they came out.
I don't know if you guys remember, but I remember us having some stuff like that. It was at Red Jacket Gym.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys remember Doink the Clown.
Yeah.
Yep.
You remember Doink the Clown? Yeah. Like that was one of my favorite, cause the other Doink or whatever, he had actually was from his dad taught at Make One.
Yeah.
And, of course, he was there, and then I don't know how to say it, and I don't want to say it and get in trouble. He had the other person with him. I don't know how to say it. But he had the other person with him, his little sidekick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, you said it. I'm so afraid to say things.
Correct. It's a midget.
But anyway, him. And I just loved it. It was so much fun. And stuff. I'm just so happy that's coming back, man.
Yeah. It was a blast.
You can the doink.
I might be.
You kind of look like.
No, you do. Actually, you do. You do. So you gonna dress us? You dress up like for Halloween this year?
No.
We're gonna do a show of us dressed up for Halloween.
You be doink, I'll be Yokozuna.
I'm gonna be Booker T.
Booker T. Yeah. You're not in your playing days anymore, Dave. Yeah.
I understand. Okay, give me a break. I understand it. You see, guys.
Paul
we're gonna see a 1-on-1 at Huntington Pratt with Darryl and the number 1 player in the nation. So stay tuned.
I'll take on all comers.
Paul Huffman said Dink and Doink was his name.
Dink and Doink. Yes.
So the other, there was a couple neat stories come out. Did you see the marathon in New Mexico where 30,000 people signed up for this marathon? 11,000 of them got caught cheating. 11,000 of them caught a bus.
Did they call you?
Check this out. They caught a bus and skipped.
11,000?
11,000 people.
In Mexico?
In New Mexico.
New Mexico, oh.
Yeah, so this right here, it reminds me back in the day, when we'd have conditioning. Listen.
I ain't gonna lie.
Listen, my coach, Raymond Justice, listen, after I quit football, I ended up joining the basketball team, and I'd do the videos. I was the manager. And for some reason, Coach Justice thought it was a good idea that every year the manager had to do conditioning too. Why? I don't know. I guess I had to hurry and get the camera up there or what. So it reminded me going up to Shannon Till there and cutting down through the weeds. That's what that story. Yeah, absolutely did. And but that's what reminded me. Me and Tom Varney, we'd always cheat to do it. But
Joe Kinzer said he thought about cheating on his 5K this past Saturday. Joe, that would have been me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a runner. I'm a sprinter. And I'm not that no more either.
And the other story that caught my interest is, have you seen this guy Oliver Anthony? Do y'all know who that is? He's
Oliver Anthony.
Yeah.
Yes.
Richmond, North Richmond.
Yeah, I seen yesterday he posted he was supposed to do a concert at Cotton Eye Joe's in Nashville.
Yep.
He pulled over and he said that, telling people not to buy the tickets on his way there, saying they was too high. And basically threw Cotton Eye Joe under the bus, saying, $200 for a meet and greet, $99 for a ticket, and he said that, that's not what he's in it for. He said it's got to be $40 or less tickets and the meet and greet free.
Yeah. He did come back on there.
Yeah, well, he ended up blasting them. Well, they couldn't come to agreement, so he moved the show to Nashville Convention Center, and the tickets are $25. All right, but what he failed to tell people is he charged Cotton Eye Joe $120,000 to do the concert. So how are they going to get that money back? He threw them under the bus, and then thought that they.
I thought it was his. If I remember correctly, it was his best friend who was a plumber.
Yeah, that was the Booker.
Yeah. And he agreed to it, and he didn't know he agreed to it all, but didn't know he was agreeing to the ticket sale prices or whatever.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to ask.
Well, if he was a plumber, he was used to high prices anyway.
That's the truth. Yeah. But that's why I do my own plumbing.
Sorry, plumbers.
I was going to ask, on just to get you guys' views, who's in the wrong here, Cotton Eye Joe or Oliver Anthony?
Man, that's a tough situation. You have to blame it on his plumber, because at the end of the day, if I'm giving you a contract, it's your obligation to see what's in that contract.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, here's the thing, though.
But if he was warned or told beforehand, hey, this is what I have my prices, which he did say that you know, they all know that this is going to be like a expense freely or whatever thing that they can do to come to his concerts or something like that.
But is he that? I mean, is he that dumbfounded or not realistic to think though that he can charge somebody $120,000 and then he wants to get mad at that place for charging, and that's not for a concert. That's not hugely. I mean, especially for a big act. But I mean, to go bash that company over this, when he's the one that charged them $120,000. So why ain't you talking about your price?
I think there's two. Both are at fault here.
Yeah, I'm with you, Tom.
I think I agree, but I think he shouldn't have trusted his best friend, the plumber. He should have looked at it and read the contract before they agreed to it.
Well,
but once they signed it, then they got to live up to their end of the deal. You're right. The business has to make their money back somehow.
That's it.
Well, if he done, here's the thing. If he was really that concerned about $40 tickets, then how about you charge Cotton Eye Joe $40,000 to do the concert?
See,
and
Jacob,
you can do that.
Jacob Rutherford agrees with me. He said he trusted him to do the booking, so it falls on him. But honestly, he's so new to he's probably might not have known.
Well, we do have a lawyer on the show here.
So we're going to get the legal opinion.
What's your opinion?
I mean, he did sign the contract, so I mean, I feel like he is
obligated.
He is obligated. He's going to get a lawsuit filed against him for breach of contract.
Yeah,
that
is true.
At that point, yeah.
I don't blame him one bit. Guys, as we are sitting here, Thomas is pushing us to break here. We're going to take a quick break. As we do this, guys, make sure you hit that like and share button. Let us know in the comment section below what you got to say. When we come back, we're going to talk some high school football. Come right back and join us here on Crunch Time.
If you're looking for a great selection and a great experience for your next Harley-Davidson, come on down to Mountain State Harley-Davidson here in Del Barton, West Virginia.
We have new 2023 models in stock and ready for delivery. Special financing available.
Or choose pre-owned with one of the largest inventories in the tri-state area with great low prices.
Visit our showroom filled with licensed Harley-Davidson apparel and more.
Don't write that check until you check with us, Mountain State Harley-Davidson, 61 Priest Bottom Road, or visit us online at mountainstatehd.com.
Looking for a great selection, great prices, and a great experience on your next ATV, motorcycle, or side-by-side? Come check out Kiefer's Kawasaki.
Our number one goal is to offer you the best power sport experience at a great price.
Like this new 23 Kawasaki Teryx 4 for only $17,999. Before you write that check, check with us. And remember, your adventure starts here at Kiefer Kawasaki. Route 44 South, Jerry West Highway in Logan, or visit KiefersPowersports.net.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be, for generations to come.
Here at Logan Bank and Trust, we are committed to serving the needs of the southern coalfields. So if you need to borrow money, remember, we are just a click away.
Here at LB&T, we make online banking easy.
We've taken the hassle out of applying for a loan on our new website. It's as simple as going to our lbnt.com website and choosing the loan product that best suits your needs.
Your loan on your time. Visit us at lbnt.com. You're only a click away.
So if you need to borrow money, remember, we are just a click away. It's easy to apply online at lbnt.com, and all decisions are made locally. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, guys, we are back here on Crunch Time. We got David Jones over to my left. I'm Darryl McCoy, the maestro, Thomas Rainey, and we got Pike County Attorney Paul Howard Jr. in the building.
My QB.
Yes, sir. Paul Howard Jr. Listen, he went from the top attorney in the city of Pikeville, fastest rising attorney, to now sitting in the big chair.
I don't know. TJ may have something to say about that.
Yeah.
He might. Hey, they were side by side in the same office. He may have something to say. We'll call him later.
Yeah, we'll have to call him. He is the judge.
Yeah, right. I'm about to say he is the judge.
Hey, Justin Maynard said, keep doing what you're doing, guys. Appreciate all you do for our mountain athletes. Drew Moore says, Belfry and Pikeville always brings excitement to high school football, especially in the mountains of eastern Kentucky, hoping for a great game.
We also got somebody telling David to dress up like Rich Brooks.
Yeah, there you go.
Hold on. How do you see those comments that he don't?
Yeah.
Come on,
I was trying to help you, Dave.
Then we got somebody on here asking to give our win total for the University of Kentucky this year football team.
I would. Man.
Leary's not as good as I originally thought he was. I thought he was going to be a little bit better. Now, this is 2 games into the season, so I understand they played lesser opponents. I think he's going to be all right at the end of the day. I think they got pieces around them. People always get too worked up over an EKU game, or at the end of the day, that's still a rivalry.
Yep.
And people don't realize an EKU's not that shabby.
No, EKU's they are above average.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think that at the end of the day, I think this is a really good Kentucky team. They're not going to be losing to Vandy. They're not. So I'm gonna stick with my original thought. I think they're gonna finish 8-4.
You think 8-4?
Ooh.
Oh man. I ain't been down to UK yet. I ain't gonna say nothing.
6-5.
No, I would 6-5. What are you, a Tennessee fan?
6-5.
Maestro, are you a Tennessee fan?
No, I'm not a Tennessee fan. 6-5.
Who's your team?
6-5.
Who's your team? Why you telling me? Tell me who's your team.
I'm anti-Kentucky. So.
He's a UPike fan.
Yeah.
I love UPike. We ain't talking about UPike. We talking about the SEC here, baby. Hey, man, Maestro, you supposed to be my guy, man.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
Well, what's yours?
He won't say.
Paul Jr. got to say.
I'm going to say 8-4. You're talking about Leary. I think that he had a lot of drop balls.
Yeah.
This past weekend, a lot.
Yes.
That should have been caught. If you have the caliber of receivers that they say they have, the balls were catchable. And of course, at the end of the day, that goes back at the quarterback if you look at the stats.
Yeah.
So it makes his numbers look bad.
Yeah.
But if you watch the game, you saw the drop passes. And also, he's coming into a new system.
Right.
He was running more of a spread system at NC State, and being under center is something he wasn't used to. His footwork and everything it's completely different.
Yep.
But I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, no pun intended, but Leary's got me a little leery of his feet.
I'm gonna go 9-3.
Ooh, 9-3.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 9-3. It's just because of the athletes they have around them, and I know prayers go out to Lynn Collin because he had an emergency this past weekend. He had to go to the hospital and stuff, but he will be back this weekend, full effect and all that. But I think we'll be 9-3.
Do they beat Alabama?
No.
We speaking we talking too soon right now.
Okay.
Ask me in about 2 weeks.
Now Alabama did lose to Tennessee.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they've not looked great.
I know.
Do they got a chance to beat Alabama, Paul?
If their running game, and I think they have depth on their defensive line this year. No, they don't have depth at linebacker, but I think their defensive line, they do have depth.
Yep.
But if Kentucky can get their running game going, I think there's a shot.
Yeah. The thing that I like, is now, out of all the mountain kids up there, do you see any of them getting any major PT this year or being a factor?
At Kentucky?
Yeah. If I was going to say one, probably Bingham.
That's what I was thinking.
That's exactly who I would say is him. I actually got to watch him in, about 3 or 4 times in practice. Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah.
Like, he really is. I really didn't get to watch him like that at Johnson Central. Of course, I was in Lakes or whatever. But I got to really watch him. My goodness, he's massive. I mean,
big old boy.
He's massive, you know, but he can move. He got good feet. And he'll surprise you because he can pass block. Just coming out of a system like Johnson Central, we all know, you know.
Well, a lot of people would have got to watch him if D&D was there.
Well, that is true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But nah, it's I think, you know, I mean, to say the political answer, I guess we're impactful, you know, I mean, so everybody's probably wanting to hear Mr. Carson Wright. Yeah, I'd love to see him in Lexington, but
Carson,
he's a year away, I think.
Absolutely, he's doing good. You know, if you wanted him to get out there and go now, I think he could get on special teams and play good ball. Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
You know, and just playing in the SEC and playing on special teams and stuff like that, you know, you don't have to run a 4-3.
Yeah.
You just gotta know how to tackle and want to tackle, because I'm telling you, it comes very quick.
And he knows that.
And he knows that. You know, I think he's one of the top tacklers
in the state,
out of Pikeville. Yeah. You know, I know he's up there in the count, but you know, he's looked great. You know, he's looked great. I saw him look good in practice.
Well, I mean, I agree with you there. Yeah, I mean, I think he's a year away, but I think before it's over with, that, you know, I mean, who knows if he puts in the work, he could be the next Cash Daniel.
Yes, exactly right.
You know, I
agree.
So,
I agree.
Yep. So
they got the same measurables.
Yeah, that's well. I mean, obviously you're in West Virginia now. I wanted to get your take. Did you see where the WVSSAC now is talking about? You know, we got word of this 2 weeks ago from one of the insiders up there we got, but now it's come out that they're talking about coming back on the transfer deal.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, the 1 year free transfer. You know, they're saying because the blowouts, you know, and at the end of the day, I don't think that correlates.
It don't, and let me tell you why. Nitro and Herbert Hoover.
Yeah, I always done
it. Well,
always done.
No, I'm not saying that the game that they played last week.
Yeah.
You know, Nitro blew out St. Albans.
Yep.
And Herbert Hoover lost. Now Nitro and Herbert Hoover played. Herbert Hoover destroyed Nitro.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Yep. And you know, for us at Mingo, it don't matter anyway. We don't get kids. We don't get kids from other schools like that. We just got to get our kids back, and keep our kids from going places. That's it. So it don't bother us.
I think it hit around the bigger cities is where it really is
exactly
happening.
Like now,
the Huntingtons,
Charleston. That's where the problem is, because you have all these schools so close together. You got us and Tug together.
Yeah.
And you go to Charleston, you got Riverside, Herbert Hoover,
South
St. Albans, Sissonville,
Polka.
I mean, it's
South Charleston,
Hurricane.
Yeah,
you got all of that. So that's where the
Yeah,
jumble is. You know what I'm saying?
It's really going to be obvious in basketball.
Leave us alone up here.
Listen, WVSSAC, don't. I mean, at the end of the day, this is one of the best things that they've done in a while. They're so far behind every other athletic commission in the U.S. You know, when you take a look at their rules, you know, I mean, you can go from top to bottom and look. They are behind the 8 ball. They're athletes. They put them behind the 8 ball, and it's just hard for West Virginia athletes to have the opportunity Kentucky kids do because of the rules that they're put. This is actually one rule that makes sense. You know, if you want to talk about why the scores are like that, how about you go and say, okay, let's put a running clock, you know, earlier in the game instead of in the fourth quarter.
I totally agree with that, and that is one thing, you know, it's happened to us several times, and I'm not the type of coach, I don't like running the score up. I've been on both sides, and, you know, and the way I felt, I know the way our kids felt on the other side, I mean, it's just crushing. Yeah. So I do not believe in it, and it really irritates me whenever, you know, I look up, I'm like, hey, it's 35. I go to the ref, I'm like, hey, you know, is this just running clock? Like, no, we got to wait till the fourth quarter, and you know, and if both coaches don't agree to bringing the time down, you can go 8 or 6 minutes. If they don't agree, you still got to play.
Yeah.
And if they don't take their varsity guys out, we're, you know, as a coach, I'm not going to leave my freshman JV kids in there to get beat up on.
Yeah.
You know, and so it you know, it falls on the coaches. It's the coaches also.
Let's say
I
like
agree with that statement.
We'll say it like it is here. The only reason that this is a factor is because if it was Polka or if it was Scott or Chapmanville, they wouldn't care about it. But they care about it because it is capital. It's South Charleston. Yep. And listen, at the end of the day, you know, this ain't new. South Charleston, you know, they have taken one, you know, they've lost 17 of the 18 games that they've played since 2017.
Wow.
Capital, you know, I'm
4
pretty
wins.
sure. Yeah, the Capital, they've only got 4 wins since 2001. So, you know, this is it's something that, you know, I mean, it has nothing to do with that transfer rule. They just want a reason to come back because they're seeing all their kids. You know, Capital, they lost their whole basketball team basically. But, you know, I mean, that's the only reason. If it was in, you know, the Royal schools, they wouldn't care about it.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that.
Yeah,
like,
it's about who's
major.
on the losing side of it.
I agree 100% on that. And like I said, the blowouts have nothing to do with the transfer thing.
I agree.
At all.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the teams that they say that's stacked and this and that, you know, I mean, when they go and play in other teams, you know, it comes down to, all right, whose team is best prepared.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And we seen that happen this weekend, you know, last weekend. So I don't think it is anything. I think someone got an offer.
Yeah, it's Parker Watts from KCU. Parker Watts, Tulsa Rebel.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable athlete, you know, and it's the first of many. I mean,
yeah, congrats, big dog.
Yeah, Brian Stacy doing a good job with Parker up there in Tulsa. Also, you know, I mean, you sit there and that's the other thing, you know, I mean, when you talk about, you know, the rule changes, you know, there's a lot of them. West Virginia, their rules was made back, you know, in the 40s and 50s, and they have never changed with the time. Is the reason? Yeah,
I came over here, had to pay almost $500 just to coach.
Yeah, well,
it's crazy.
You know, for instance, a lot of people don't realize is that in West Virginia you can only play 5 quarters.
Right.
So your JV players can't play varsity. You know, in basketball.
That's same as football.
Yeah. That's you only allowed 5 quarters of play, and then you know, I mean, and you can just look. I mean, it would be you would be blown away if I really went through the rules that needed changed and think, oh, they still do that. You know, I mean, and so you know, I mean, I hope that transfer. Well,
we got some new blood up in there now too. So hopefully things is going to start changing up for the better. You know, and it needs to, you know, just being, you know, coaching Kentucky my whole career, now coming over here, you know, it's behind a lot. But also too is the schools board of educations, they got to understand also how that they can affect the area schools as well. You know, when it comes down to streaming, you know, and what that been said is. It's very, very hard for our kids to get any, and this is West Virginia thing that I've noticed, is to get any they're not coming down here from up north for these big television shows and all that. They're not coming down here. They don't care. They're not going to come down here. It's not feasible for them. Yep. So, and you know, the big reason why I'm blessed that, you know, that we go in the hole every time, but I mean, I'm blessed that you guys, you know, help us out because, you know, we got to get our kids looks, and I've gotten so many calls and so many recognitions for my guys because of them guys seen them up north, and they called me, and I've been able to get on the Metro News to talk with them. They talked to me about, hey, we seen them on D&D. I was like, hey, don't you know I'm one of the owners? And stuff like that.
I'm one of the D's.
So it was pretty neat, you know, and they're seeing the stuff, and they haven't seen, you know, Mingo haven't been seen like that. So for an example, Malachi Shepard, Dark Horse, West Virginia. Chris Ross, Dark Horse, West Virginia. I've gotten so many college coaches have called me on them young men because they've been seen and shown their ability on the platform.
Oh yeah.
So it's very huge.
And if you want to know the difference, that's what held, you know, Mingo. they got stuck with the NFHS deal, which is one of the worst things you could ever do. So for many years, for for 4 of the 6 years that D&D's been in existence, they had NFHS. We couldn't get up there and get their athletes covered, so that's why you didn't know any Mingo Central kids.
Yeah,
that's why you couldn't say any kid's name up there.
Yeah, that is true. A lot of people don't understand that NHSF it hurts the kids more than anything. It don't work.
Well, now that D&D's there, and I'm not tooting our own horn, but these kids are household names now, and that's what it's become. Believe it or not, it's not just in West Virginia. We had a area high school around here, and I'm not going to mention who, that said $500 to stream their game. Now listen, when their community messages, D&D don't cover us like they do everybody else. They don't do this.
I'm going to tell them.
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely.
Tell them.
We've got to tell them. Well, your principal is, wants $500 to cover you. So, you got to talk. And it's kind of sickening that schools, would put money in front of kids.
Well, you're hurting the kids.
Yeah.
It's that simple. You're hurting the kids. And everybody want to always be like, well, David, how you get these kids offered? I don't do anything. We allow our kids to be seen. We put our kids out there to be seen, their abilities to get them their offers and stuff and all that. But you have to allow them to be seen. Like who is going to come to a place where, for an example, who's going to come to Mingo Central? They ain't know what we done. They was 4 and something last year, or whatever. Who was going to come watch them?
That's it.
I know for a fact, because I was trying to get these colleges to come down and come to practice. No one. It went silent until we start playing and being seen, and now we're being bombarded.
And that's why D&D does what it does. We try to take the athletes out of the mountains to the colleges, so you don't have that. And that's what Jacob Rutherford, he says there's nobody in the mountains helping mountain athletes like D&D does. And guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to go straight. Well, before we go to break real quick, I want to get your thoughts. Deion Sanders changing the game of football, college football.
Yeah, it's Deion, man. Like, here's the thing about Deion. Deion is a coach's player. And Deion
is a player's coach.
Player's coach, I'm sorry. Yeah. And Deion, so what Deion is doing, and I'm just going to be real honest, what Deion is doing, only Deion can do it.
Yeah.
Because you want to know why? Deion got money.
Yeah.
Deion has already been there and done that. So now he can do that on the biggest stage, and there's a lot of hate towards him because he got out of HBCU schools and all that. But at the same time, while the HBCU schools is mismanaging money and doing this, doing that, they're hurting the kids. So why put your name on that and put all your all in that whenever you can go to a Power 5 school and look what he's doing?
I love the fact the school is going to pay him like $28 million.
Yeah.
They didn't have the money.
No.
They took the gamble. Let's get prime time, and we'll cover $28 million.
Well, I think they got that back.
They've already got it back. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So,
well, and listen, the NCAA should pitch in on that, because Deion is he's making college football 10 times better than it ever was, because he's made a school like Colorado relevant. He's made, he is the it factor right now. A lot more eyes are going to be on college football because of Deion Sanders.
Absolutely. And hold on, Mike Conley said it best. He said the days, if you're good enough, they will find you is over. Too easy for recruits to watch online instead of traveling and hunt kids, and that's totally
exactly
true.
right. I agree with that.
Right. It's helping their pay too.
The
recruiting pay,
the recruiting budget.
Yeah, and that's what even going into it, we won't go because we got to go to break here, but that's why it's even more important for us to cover middle school games now because of NIL.
Yeah.
Now kids can make money off their likeness. So if we're making them a household name from the time that they're in 6th grade to when they graduate, when they get to college, they got a name that everybody knows, and they're going to be able to make money off that. Yeah. So it's even more important now these days. And the biggest thing I like about Deion is on his jerseys he puts L for leaders, D for dogs.
So I say dogs a lot.
So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll jump straight into high school football. Come right back and join us here on Crunch Time. If you was pushed out of the area because of loss of work in the coal industry, look no longer. Jim Moore is here for you. Jim Mar is now hiring for all positions in the coal field. Stop by their offices in Logan, West Virginia or in Wheeling, West Virginia and apply today. Let the folks at Double Quick help you start your 2022 off right. They've brought back the Bourbon Pecan Coffee for a limited time only. You can also quench your thirst with the great deals on fountain drinks they offer daily. Double Quick is your one-stop shop for everything. They offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can stop by one of their many storefront locations spread throughout eastern Kentucky. Stop by and let Double Quick make your day better.
Hi, everybody. Dave Baker here for Citizens Bank of Kentucky. Do you want to love your car even more? How about putting extra cash in your pocket each month by refinancing with new low rates at CBK? It is fast, it's easy. All you have to do is log on to wearecitizens.bank.
We're back here in Pikeville, Kentucky at the Pike County Attorney's Office. Paul Howard Jr. over here to our left, our guest speaker here tonight. We got David Jones to my left. I'm Darryl McCoy, the maestro Thomas Rainey on the boards. As we sit here, Jacob Rutherford says he'd love to see the statistics from before we started D&D and now at college athletes entering college. Listen, we kept up with it the first 3 years, and in the first 3 years we had 37 kids that we could personally tie D&D into getting them scholarships, and it's just grown so much now that we just don't even keep count. But yeah, I mean, just in thinking your subconscious, you know, when we was in school, it was a big deal if, you know, like Barry Crum, when he went to UPike, when he come back for a high school game, oh, he was the college star. You know, he was this, he was that. You know, and you may have knew, I mean, I'm talking every school may have had, you know, one kid out of every sport go to college here in the mountains. Now, you're getting, I mean, 6 kids off track, 6 kids, you know, off, cross country, you know, bass fishing. I mean, it's just so changed the game and threw a spotlight that was much needed. And that's what, you know, I mean, I hate, you know, bragging about it, but, you know, I mean, it's something that we set out to do, and now it's, you know, it's made it cool to take mountain kids. That's why every college that we talk to, you know, is, hey guys, come down here. You know, that's why we got college coaches. You know, hey, send me your top 10. Hey, send me this, send me that. You know, I mean, and it's, you know, we appreciate them kind words, Jacob.
How many sport networks you see now?
That's it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
everybody pops up.
Everybody. We was the D&D show. You
Yeah.
know, we changed our to Sports Network. Now everybody's Sports Network, and which that is awesome. That's what we want. We're putting pressure on the media, our local media, to cover our kids. And I love every bit of it.
Ashley Dalton says Pike County Attorney needs to get the handcuffs out and put them on David Jones for bringing the guns in the building.
Hey, these hands is not built for cuffs.
Well, let's go straight into last week's football games here. I mean, we'll go into the Citizens Bank game of the week, which was Prestonsburg versus Lewis County here, as we watch some highlights here as we talk. I mean, this was a game coming into this here. I got the statistics here somewhere. Now, as we sit here and look at this game, you know, I mean, Jacob Rose come in as the leading rusher, period, in the mountains. He was and we'll go into the statistics leader here in a minute. You can catch them on dndsports.com right now. But you can see right here, listen, this kid Jacob Rose, he's shades of, Belfry fans may remember, Micah Cottle. He's small, he's shifty, you know, he runs behind the big line, and, you know, this is a kid, he's hard-nosed. I mean, you got to watch him, you know, I mean.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, their star running back got hurt first game. Yeah, Nick Kidd. Yeah. And now he stepped in, and I mean, he should have been the back the whole time. I mean, he's that good. He is. And but in that game there, you had Jacob Rose had 29 carries, 196 yards, 3 touchdowns. Dalton Elliott had 11 carries, 76 yards, 2 scores. In the passing department, that they, again, that they're starting a freshman, and the young Bryce Holbrook, was 12 of 20 with 98 yards, and the thing that I like about him is he's playing like a veteran. We seen him in that game. We done it. Yep. He done it in this game. Hey, he has numerous hard counts.
Yeah, he keeps getting better each game.
Yeah,
I've always been. I was a fan of him and his in middle school, and just seeing him play in that game versus Leslie County, his first ever game, and him not folding and stuff, that was unbelievable. That just shows you that he can play that QB position.
Yeah, and that's that kid's a rising superstar.
Yes,
now on defense, Logan Stumbo again. The thing that I like, he led the team in tackles with 8 tackles. But the thing that impressed me the most about Logan Stumbo was his ability to get out in space, cover receivers, bat down balls. I mean, this kid was a one-man wrecking crew the other night. This Prestonsburg team, Brandon Brewer has a really good team. And then you take a look over there. I mean, we knew Lewis County was going to come. They wasn't going to lay down. Right. It was going to be a tough game. Aiden Cooper was 15 for 30, 186 yards with 3 TDs. You had Alex Russell rushed the ball 5 times, 65 yards and a score. And then leading tackles for him was Braden McGlone with 11 and Travis Applegate, who also had 11. Alex Russell had an interception as well. This wasn't your granddaddy's Lewis County team. Right. This is a very good Lewis County team this year, and they got a special senior group up there right now, and so Prestonsburg, this is one of them. They bounced back really well off that loss to Paintsville.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, we got to cover them last year. We've seen the progression of Lewis County now for 2 years since we've been covering the 16th.
Yeah, you're right.
And they're making a big difference. And it, like you said, Darryl, came a long way.
Yeah, their head coach actually was the running back coach at Morehead State.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Sure it was.
Wow. That game right there, we'll talk about Prestonsburg a little more later. But going over, let's release the Double Quick Player of the Week real quick before we go into this game. Double Quick Player of the Week went to Greenup County's Tyson Salmons.
He did unreal. I've seen that.
I've got it up. You think about that. 12 of 15, Darryl, through the air. 255 yards, 4 TDs. Then he carried the ball 13 times for 182 and 3 more TDs. Wow. There's some quarterbacks don't get that in a season. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Right, exactly.
That's insane. One game.
This is unreal, and we got some highlights here. As you look at him. This Tyson Salmons kid, man. I'm trying to think of somebody to compare him to. He's kind of like a Tim Tebow of high school football. You know what I mean?
He's like a Tyson Hill from the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, he's a lot like him, and it runs in his bloodline. This is a kid that if you're going to war, you want him in your foxhole. He's got nice touch on the football. When he wants to run the ball, there's no stopping this kid. And Greenup County right now, they've knocked off a few Ohio schools. Then this win right here over East Carter. Coach Champ had East Carter playing really good. This was a big-time win for Greenup County.
Paul, he knows Champ real well. Didn't you play with him one year?
Tim Champlin?
He was younger than me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I know Tim really well.
Yeah, great coach, man.
And then on defense, you had Caden Holmes had 14 tackles. You had Waylon Perkins with 11 tackles for him. And the receiver, I've got to give him a shout out. Aiden Goo. He had 5 receptions, 127 yards, and 3 TDs.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, him and Salmons, they had a connection that night that. You very rarely, it's just one of them nights, and they'll always remember this ball game because of the team that they beat. They beat a good team, and this is the one, Greenup County, we always wonder every year, are they legit? Are they for real? Well, this win right here, I think, is one where you can say.
I think they solidified.
Yeah, I do. I think you're going to see them climb our ranking list.
Yep, I think they solidified that for me there.
Yeah, and then going on over, let's go right down the road to Russell.
I think Salmons. I think he has a brother that plays for UPike football.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
His brother plays for UPike, and he's quarterback.
Yep.
So, okay, nice.
So he was the quarterback there last year or the year before, I think. So because I think Tyson Salmons has been there for 2 years. He's been running the show. So and then right down the street, let's go to the Russell Red Devils game. As in that game right there, David, we had Ethan Pack was 9 for 11, 105 yards, 4 touchdowns on the night. Andre Richardson Cruz had 9 carries, 94 yards, and a score. Then on defense, you had Totten and Kaiser. You had Grayson Kaiser with an interception and Ben Totten also with an interception. This Russell team, I don't know what they are right now. I mean, they win a good game,
I know,
and then they'll drop a game they shouldn't. And then now this win right here. Listen, I mean, at the end of the day, McGoffin County is really struggling right now, so it isn't a great win for them, but they've got to be a good team. You've got to take care of business and beat teams like this that you should beat.
You have to beat those teams you're supposed to beat.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And, I think that Russell, they're finally getting their athletes out there. You're seeing a lot of the basketball players, including Caleb Rimmer, go over and start playing football. So, they're getting their best athletes out on the football field. And, I think sooner than later you're going to see Russell back to the Russell that they was in their heyday.
Oh, yeah. This is Coach's last year, right?
Yep.
Coach Love's last year, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I seen where he's stepping down after this or something like that.
Okay. The game that I obviously want to talk about here, and I want to get y'all's opinion on, is Johnson Central versus Breathitt County. Now, Jacob Grimm went 4 for 6, 80 yards. You had Logan Music, who had 16 carries, 232 yards, and a score. Carter
so
Conley, Music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Problems at quarterback.
Well,
because they're banged up, they're hurt.
But this was an embarrassing loss for Breathitt County, because at the end of the day, they had 2 yards of total offense. They had 7 yards passing, negative 5 yards rushing. 2 yards. Johnson Central held them to 2 yards of offense.
I remember when Prestonburg held me to 1 yard.
Yeah.
I swear I did. I'll never forget that a day in my life, man. They held me to 1 yard.
That's
1 yard. But they forgot we had some other guys back there,
Yeah. I think
Doug Jr. had about 400 that game.
when you got a Doug Howard in the backfield, I think you can you can do that.
They was all in my ear going, yeah. I'm like, I only got the ball, Doug scoring.
But that right there, Breathitt County, there's no excuse for that. At the end of the day, I could get out there, I think, at my age and do 3 quarterback sneaks and get more than 2 yards. Yeah, I could. I could get more than 2 yards.
I thought I could, and I pulled a groin.
More than 2 yards. I could fall forward and get 2 yards. But I don't want to pile it on them because, like I said, we've seen this team. This is a good team. I don't know what's going on with them. We get to watch them this week on the Citizens Bank Game of the Week. It's not. It's Friday night football. It's during Friday night football. We got Hazard and Breathitt, and then Citizens Bank Game of the Week we got Shelby Valley and Perry Central. But
that's gonna be a good game.
This Breathitt team, I hope they bounce back from this in a good way, because I think this is a team that can be dangerous when playoff team comes. Once they get things right, I think they're on their third quarterback right now. So once they get things right there, we see they got a good line. Mm-hmm. They got a solid running back. Yep.
And a heck of receivers too.
Yeah, they got really good receivers. Mm-hmm. This is a team that could be scary come playoff time.
They've always had good receivers at Breathitt.
Yeah, but it tells you how dominant that Johnson Central is.
That's exactly right.
That to be able to do that to any team is impressive.
Yeah, very.
When's the last time you heard of that, Paul?
I don't know. I don't. Not for an entire game.
Yeah, for a team
effort. No, I don't know if I've ever heard of that. I mean, even if you look at blowout wins throughout history, I mean, 2 yards.
I don't know that I've ever heard of that.
That's unique. I like to see the game film.
Yeah, I would love to see it.
I'd love to see the game. If anybody got the game film, try to send it to me if you can. That's something I like to see. I have to see how it went. Because that's very hard to do for 4 quarters.
Yep.
Very, very hard.
Now, and let's go back over to Pike County here, and I know that's where Paul Howard Jr. resides here in Pike County. As we got Pike Central rolling, still undefeated, as Jameer Knuckles 2 for 6, 52 yards, 2 scores through the air. He also carried the ball 20 times for 101 yards and a score. And then on defense, you had Trevor Holbrook with 13 tackles, Malachi Anderson with 12, and Davin McKinney, who had 10 tackles. Ethan Atkins had a fumble recovery, and he also had 4 tackles for the Hawks. Then Powell County, which me and Thomas got to see, this is a good Powell County team.
They actually are.
They're solid.
Yep.
And then you had Aiden Larison had 23 yards and a touchdown. He also carried the ball 19 times for 139 yards and a score. And then Jacob Green led Powell County in tackles with 16. Julian Lopez had 10. This Pike Central team, I want to know, is this team for real?
Hey man, I'm a big Knuckles fan, so I gotta give them the nod.
They've had a couple quality wins.
Yes, and when you're winning those quality wins like they're winning, you have to give them the nod. I mean,
and I think
they're doing it with these young cats.
Yeah. And they've got something that not a lot of schools in this area have, and that's a good quality kicker.
Oh, yeah.
That makes it different if it comes down.
I know.
If it comes down to a close game, that's where it's going to pay off. So I don't know. I think at the end of the day, the thing that I worry about Pike Central is when I take and look. I think this week will be one of their biggest tests.
Yeah, we've got fans already wanting us to pick that game. I told them just to stay tuned.
We'll pick that game later in the show. Make sure you guys stick around.
Yeah.
This we're going to pick all the games in the area, including Belfry Pikeville. So make sure you stay for that one too.
MINGO.
But when you take and look at this Pike Central team, it's been a long time since Pike Central has started out like this, and for them to be able to, I don't care who you're beating, the thing that worries me is how they're doing it with defense. Mm-hmm. The Powell County game was their highest scoring game. They've not reached 20 points in the previous 2 games. So I'm worried about, against a Prestonsburg that can put up 40 points a game if they can compete and, kind of keep track with them offensively.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Well,
my thing is defense win championships, guys.
Yeah, that's it. But Prestonsburg's going to bring an offense. They're going to pound away.
That is true. But my thing is, can Prestonsburg contain Knuckles?
That's it.
That's my thing right there, because I'm gonna tell you right now, that young man has been winning games on his back. And it's hard. You know what I'm saying? It's hard, and I have to give credit when credit due. Their offensive line is good.
Yeah.
They're pretty good now. Pike Central, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
So, That's a toss up to me.
Yeah.
If they can contain Knuckles.
Well, and we've seen Prestonsburg's defense. I mean, listen, if they can score, they're going to prove it against Prestonsburg because Prestonsburg will allow some points.
Right.
So, I mean, they're kind of a bend, don't break defense, and they do, they kind of get in scoring, matches sometimes. But, I just think that Jameer Knuckles, he's going to have to prove this game here that he's that dog. This will be the game to see if Pike Central's for real.
Absolutely. Just like Tim Dixon said, Pike Central's defense is scrappy and will hit you. And he's absolutely right. They surprised me when I watched them play in the Pike County Bowl. They surprised me like no other. When you can do something like that for 4 quarters, I mean that's huge. That's hard to do. And it was 9-7 game. Something like that.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, I mean, like throughout the years, Pike Central started undefeated.
Yes.
But if you look at the games they won, they were blowouts. It wasn't close games. You didn't have to face adversity throughout the game.
Yep.
And then once they got beat one time, or it was a close game, it seems like, they didn't have that mentality.
Yeah.
But they've already faced adversity the first game.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that's a big, goes out to the coaching staff. Also.
Jared Sturgill says, will somebody please talk about man? Well, they picked the man Mingo. Stick around. That's coming.
Yeah.
Now,
and they want to know if we're covering man Mingo, and we're working on that. That's all we will say.
Well, yes, we are working on it. All I can tell you is, listen, if you got any pulled all, reach out to your school, and hopefully we can get that done. We definitely want to be there for the Man Hillbillies and Mingo Central Miners in this game, which is one of the marquee matchups in the state this year. Floyd Central, we had Coach Shelton 11 for 26, 184 yards, 2 scores. B.J. Peterson continues his hot start to the season. He carried the rock 13 times for 116 yards and a score. And then on the other side of things, on defense, we had Jordan Sammons, who led the Jaguars with 8 tackles. B.J. Peterson had 6. Sean Hager, this game right here come down to the final second. I don't know if you've seen the highlights, but, it looked like they wasn't going to get the playoff. They rushed up to the line of scrimmage, and at the last second, they ended up getting a quarterback sneak to win the ball game.
Yes,
and I mean, they had 6 seconds. The play was 6 seconds. Then with 6 seconds, they rushed to the line, lined up behind center, and punched it in. Got the win over West Carter. Sean Hager, 3-1 start the season.
Appreciate it, Sean. My dude. You my brother. I picked y'all. I knew y'all was gonna do it.
Hey, it was a great game, and Shelton just got behind what's our big lineman we like so much, our Jesse Spears, isn't it?
Yes.
He just put his hand on his back and he just followed him to the end zone.
The same thing I did at the state title game with Chewy and Zane.
Them was all big games. Trying to see on the other one, Thomas. Ashland. We throw the Ashland graphic up here. LeBryant Strader. Listen, this kid, there's a reason why he's a top 5 quarterback in the mountains. Thomas, what was his
my goodness.
What was Jennings' stats?
Jennings, first off, had 15 carries for 81 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 receptions for 83 yards and a touchdown. And then the quarterback, LeBryant Strader, 7 of 11 for 205 yards and 2 TDs as they rolled 45-24.
I mean, this Ashland team, that's what I'm interested in seeing. As we've seen, in our top 10, last week they was ranked number 1. I want to see, is Ashland having them move up a class if they're a contender, they're in 4A now.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. But they're doing pretty good. I'm a Tackett fan.
Yeah, listen, I love Coach Tackett, and and the big thing about them is they got good quarterback play.
Yes.
They got at the skilled position.
Imagine if their one cat Pittman was still there.
Well, they got speed.
I know.
All the speed they can handle at the skilled position.
I think he probably wished he was there because they're slinging the ball around now.
Oh yeah. Well, Brandon Houston, one of the top receivers, period, in the mountains, is having a field day with LeBryant Strader. And the thing is, Ashland's getting it done defensively too. That right now that's where they're really, they're putting all these points up, but people's not talking about their defense. This is a team that can win a state title in 4A, in my opinion. I think Ashland's that good.
I don't know. When you talk about Bull County and Corbin.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They're on a different level.
Yeah, Corbin is definitely on a different level.
Bull County, they can't nobody. I'm gonna tell you, absolutely no one. They haven't done it yet. Garter Quisenberry from Bull County. He is. When I say he's a Robinson, what's his first name? Rondell.
Yeah.
Rondell Robinson.
Yeah.
He's him made all over. I'm telling you guys, and I had a coach against him for 1 year, and I pray to God that was it. Cause I'm telling you, like this kid just touch the ball and I've never seen that before. I've never seen the fastest kid I've ever played with on the team was Derek Locke. Yeah. He's from Oklahoma. He played with me at Kentucky, and he was way faster than that, quickness and everything.
Yeah, as that'll round out our key games, but Thomas, throw up there the rest of the games going on around the area, and
I'm looking forward to it.
As we throw it up here, the Ashland 45-24 over Bardstown. We had Southwestern defeating Belfry 27-0. We had Estill County defeating Bath County 43-0. Floyd Central getting a close win over West Carter 28-27. East Carter falling to Greenup County 46-36. Harlan falling to Leslie County 25-8. Landry Collette and Leslie County continues to roll.
Yeah. Hey, we picked them from day one.
Listen, right now our dirty dozen top 12 quarterbacks we picked, out of all of them, one of them ain't in the top 12 in the mountains in passing.
Wow.
So
pretty impressive.
We hit 11 of them key on.
11 of 11?
Yep. 11 of 12. Yep. Breathitt County got slaughtered by Johnson Central 41-0. We had Betsy Lane continues to stay undefeated 50-22 over Knott Central. Letcher Central 54-7 over Hazard. We had Boyd County 45-21 over Mason County. Boyd County, Rhett Holbrook. Listen, I know they dropped it to East Carter, but don't sleep. This is a very good Boyd County team.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Shelby Valley, Russ Osborne and them went down to Middlesboro 50-28.
Is that a surprise score? I mean, I thought they would win, but I didn't think 50-28. That's a pretty good spread.
Larry French is usually a lot more competitive than that.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not taking anything from Middlesboro. Shelby Valley is good.
Yeah, they're that good. I mean, I agree.
And they're really good. They just could not match them athlete-wise. They couldn't match them. Middlesboro couldn't.
No, and then Morgan County, Morgan County is out of district play still, but if I'm not mistaken, well, they're 3-1 on the season, and they beat Fairview 62-22. So very impressive for Morgan County. Martin County goes to Paintsville, gets a huge win, 27-3 over the Tigers. You got Bell County taking care of business against Perry Central, 30-26. Phelps. Marty Casey called this game.
He did.
He did. He messaged and he said, "Hey, write it down right now. I'm saying Phelps gets the first win."
Yeah.
So Mark Dog took care of business too, as the Phelps Hornets get their first win of the season. Now this one, Raceland comes into Pikeville, gets the 7-6 win.
We just talked about field goal kickers, didn't we?
Yeah.
Come down to an extra point, didn't it?
Yeah, and that's, Logan Lundy, he kind of called it, as we said, he said that he said, I want to wear a D&D shirt into Pikeville and I want to get the win. And Logan Lundy went into Pikeville, got the big win, and that's why he's the number one quarterback in the mountains.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah,
he's hands down a stud. There's no sugarcoating that.
He's D1 all day.
Yeah, he sure is.
Yeah, and then and the thing that worried me in that game was in the trenches. I was surprised that Raceland was able to take care of Pikeville in the trenches. I know that they got speed on the edges. I know that Noah Wallace is an animal, but I really thought in the trenches that Pikeville would win this ball game. And
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Not so fast, guys. Well, these two are going to meet again. We're going to get to see a game later in the year with these two. There's no doubt.
There was some revenge
they'll be
too, because Piper absolutely murdered them.
Yeah, state championship.
Murder over here.
Yeah,
they absolutely destroyed them. They absolutely destroyed them in the state title game.
Yeah,
and that was an embarrassment for wrestling, you know. And so they had a lot of and when they come into the game, and you got to understand too, those guys, you know, wasn't on that team.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Paul Howard Jr., do we see Pikeville wrestling in the state championship?
We do. And Pikeville had a few players out for this game. I think the Anthony boy.
Brandon Anthony.
He didn't play. I think he's out again this week. I think they had one more player out. So big difference.
Major.
If he's in the ball game,
big
major
difference. Absolutely.
That's game changer.
Yes, it is.
He is a game changer for that defense, absolutely. And you know, and the thing, you know, I mean, that I was surprised, you know, I mean, that, you know, I mean, have you looked? Sam Wright is having a year, you know, back there.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, I mean,
listen, you already know who's one of my favorite DBs. You know, and I also like him at QB. That's just me. But Sam Wright, he's one of the best.
Yeah,
he's one of my favorites, man.
I love the way that he plays that position.
He remind me of Josh Sammons when I coached him. Just very smart.
Yeah.
You know, and you can just let him control the defense. Like, you see it, you call it.
Yeah.
You know, and he's one of those kids.
I mean, have you got a chance to watch Sam Wright?
I have. Yeah. I've actually watched. I'd say in the last 2 years, them and Belfry about equal their games, And like Dave said, he's always in the right position.
Yes.
And that's more important than anything.
Yeah.
And to get people in the right position. Yes. But if you watch the games, he's always there.
And of course, Paul watches a ton of Shelby Valley, East Ridge, and Pike Central games too, folks.
Yes. All of Pike County football. And don't leave out Phelps.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Justin be filming the game, sending them to him.
The Pike Central 27-24 over Powell County. We had Prestonsburg 42-28 over Lewis County. Fleming County continues to have a big year. They're 3-1 with a 40-14 win over Rowan County. Russell demolishes McGoffin County 53-14. Chapmanville, they dropped to 2-1, 28-0. Winfield takes care of business there.
It's a good Winfield team, though.
Yeah,
it really
I agree. I mean, there's no shame in that.
Them again
that score is actually all right, because that's a really good Winfield.
You'll see them again this week on D&D.
We'll have Winfield game on. So with our friends at RSN and HD Media.
Awesome.
So. We had Mingo Central 32-0. Now, we was at the Prestonsburg game, and we kept getting word that y'all's game was rained out. They was lightning. Power was out. What went on at that game for the folks that wasn't there?
What didn't? Nah. Man, I had deja vu from the Pike County Bowl last year. So what happened was at the end of the first quarter, we started the second quarter, and we had lightning. So we went off the field for the lightning delay, the 30 minutes. Then it's just started lightning everywhere. And then the lightning struck something at the field, and it blew out the lights and everything. So what we did is they called WSSAC or whatever, officials up there, and we all got together, and we just agreed upon all stats and the score. We'll call it the final. So we only got to play one quarter. I mean, it was a mess, rain and lightning and all that across the Mountain State,
Yeah.
But we got to play one quarter, man, and that's really what it was.
Hey, Coach Arms and the Man Hillbillies 28-0 over Westside.
That was a delay too. They didn't start till 9:15.
Wow. See, that's the interesting thing. You'll see Mingo Central and Man play this coming Friday, which we'll talk about in a minute. But that game right there, both of them has goose egg. They scored 6 against y'all, but it was against the backup defense. But both of them, I mean, you can kind of tell, a lot of people are saying, both of them, kept Westside, to a touchdown or less, and, both of them put some points on the board, so that helps build up intrigue for this ball game. Tug Valley goes down 51-8. Tug Valley beats Sims Valley, Ohio.
I called it.
Bryson Eli, 5 touchdowns. This kid, and it seems like Preston May has took over the quarterback position now.
I'm not sure. I know he got the nod to start that game. I know there's several guys that was hurt.
Yeah.
I think the other running back was hurt. I forget his name. He was hurt. Buddy Markham, he played some in the backfield and their tight end also.
Yeah, that's and then you had Spring Valley losing to Jefferson 42-20. This is a year that Spring Valley just don't seem to be your granddaddy's Spring Valley team.
All those kids staying at Wayne.
Yeah,
That's why Wayne is doing what Wayne used to do.
No, I mean that's definitely. It has to be a reason behind it.
And Huntington High has kept all of their kids.
Yep, and Spring Valley's get a lot of their kids going over to Huntington High, and so definitely intriguing there, guys. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to introduce the Mingy Beef Jerky primetime performers of week number 4, and we'll also release the top 10, the D&D top 10. Come right back and join us here, guys, on Crunch Time.
If you're injured in a car wreck, don't delay. Give me a call today, Justin Markham. Here at Markham Law Office, we will fight for you. Don't settle for a handshake and a small check from the insurance companies. Give us a call. Don't take on the big insurance companies alone. We will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Here at Markham Law Office, you're more than a client. You're family, and we take care of family. Give me a call, Justin Markham, attorney at law.
Here at Appalachian Medical, our team has extensive experience in dealing with respiratory disease. That's why we specialize in respiratory products and disease management. We want to bring our knowledge and know-how to help patients live a healthier life. Appalachian Medical was developed by clinical professionals. We have more than 30 years of combined experience in respiratory disease management, case management, critical care, and more. Our respiratory therapists are skilled and compassionate. With offices in Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, let us be the ones you trust with your medical health care.
Kentucky Farm Bureau agents wear a lot of hats. They're coaches, volunteers, church members, neighbors, someone who's there when you need them, especially when you need them most. That may be a lot of hats, but they're all the perfect fit. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Gracie and Tate merchandising has become a staple here in the Danville and Madison community. They'll make sure you find that treasure that's been eluding you. Everything you need under one roof. New items at discounted prices right here at Gracie and Tate Merchandising. Go Skyhawks! We are back here, Pikeville, Kentucky. Pike County Attorney Paul Howard Jr.'s office here live with Crunch Time. David Jones to my left. I'm Darryl McCoy, the maestro, Thomas Rainey on the boards, and we got special guest Paul Howard Jr. in the house with us here. As guys, we got a lot of comments coming in. The Bears fan says, David Jones, keep doing what you're doing, buddy. Kids on the mountains needed somebody like you. Blaine Pruitt says, they will have to prove it against man this week. Mingo Central. Brex Kilburn says, these guys watch this show. They know the game. Listen, this week we got Hazard tomorrow versus Belfry Middle School. Hazard's undefeated. Yeah, so, Coach Boger and crew, they get this win. This could be huge for that middle school.
What, Hazard got a running back in Bryant.
Maddox.
Maddox Bryant.
Yeah, listen, which he played on my son's FBU team, Kentucky, and of course I was coaching the 8th graders or whatever, and this kid is a stud.
They got a lineman in Tater Skidmore.
I know it.
That kid can play, man. And then their QB now is Justin Haddock's nephew. So, that's another thing. So, I'm glad now that we're in the 14th region and getting to know all these teams and players over there. I mean, there's a lot of talent in the area right there.
It is.
People don't realize, especially just right there. I mean, let alone right there, the rest of the region, but right there in that Hazard area, Perry and Hazard, they put a lot of talent out.
Oh yeah, they do. I mean, and that's what I always say. I'm a big Dixon fan, so. And he always have his teams ready.
Yeah,
and hats off to the 14th for accepting us the way they have too.
Absolutely.
We get messages all the time. Hey, are you doing this game? Are you doing that game?
Yeah, they've opened their arms to us for sure. Mingy Beef Jerky primetime performers. Thomas, who do we got?
The primetime performers of this week starts out Dwayne Dean. 31 carries, 269 yards, 3 touchdowns for Wes Carter, 7 tackles, 4 solo, and 1 tackle for loss in a losing effort. But it sure wasn't his fault, that's for sure. Bryson Eli from Tug Valley, 10 carries, $129, 3 TDs, 8 receptions, 110 yards, 2 TDs as they roll Sims Valley, Ohio. Boyd County, you mentioned Red Holbrook earlier, Darryl. 15 of 23, 159 yards, 2 TDs, 1 interception. Throw in 18 carries for 145 yards and 3 TDs as they roll past Mason County. And then Coach Jones may know this guy. I don't know. This is Dylan Vance. 3 carries, 92 yards, and 3 TDs in the 1 quarter of play for Mingo Central, 32-0 over Liberty Raleigh.
They scored every time he touched the ball. And I've always said, with Dylan Vance, Mingo Central's leaving a lot of points on the board because I feel every time that kid touches the ball, he has a chance to take it to the house.
He does, and he's a total different. Everybody's seen him last year, but he's totally different this year. We challenge all of our guys, and Dylan's got in the weight room, and he's just.
Well, it seems like he's got that 5th gear now.
Oh yeah, he's figured it out, and he already knows. I coached his cousin Garrett. He was my QB at Phelps. And I coached him, so he already knew, and I know his parents. They already know how I coach and stuff. So we're allowed to coach him hard, and that's the Dylan that you're seeing now.
Hey, and shout out to Mingy Beef Jerky. Stop by your local Double Quick and grab some Mingy Beef Jerky as they continue to be a big sponsor for D&D.
Yeah, huge sponsor, Mingy Beef Jerky. Listen, 16th Region fans, you want to know why we're there? It's Mingy Beef Jerky. So can I put you on the spot? Mr. Pike County Attorney.
Sure.
Okay.
That sounded convincing.
I don't think I have a choice with that.
Right. We're getting ready to release our top 10. And I know, you used to be an avid Mountains football fan, and I know still, you're messaging after games. You still pay attention, but I want to see as we release this. Don't put it up yet, Thomas. If you can you pick the 10 teams that we're going to mention in this top 10?
Our coverage area is too big, Darryl. That's tough. I'm trying to help you. That's tough.
How big of an area? It's not just.
It's 14th, 15th, and 16th regions.
Plus West Virginia.
Plus West Virginia.
Yeah, plus West Virginia. So
I know one West Virginia team. I'm not.
Okay, Mingo.
Mingo's there.
I got Mingo.
You got one 10.
Let's see if we can get to this.
Oh yeah, Belford Pikeville.
Yeah. Okay, there's 3.
Raceland.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I go back? No, I can't go back to see.
Well, that's good though.
Let's see. Ashland.
Yep.
Yeah. You're halfway home. That's good though.
Shelby Valley made it in.
Yep. They snuck in.
Yep.
Okay.
One team that's undefeated.
Is Pike Central.
Yeah. I'm trying to help you.
Now I'm coming back to Pike County.
Yeah.
Pike now. But that's all that's in Pike County. So what am I at? 6 or 7? 7. I think I'm done.
I think.
Let's see.
I'm trying to think if there's any
No Hazard.
give me's. Well, I'll tell you this. The 14th region doesn't have one.
The biggest school in the 15th. How about that?
Didn't he say that?
He didn't say.
I thought he did.
He say JC?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
he's
I
got
didn't.
JC. Yeah,
All right, let's throw it up.
We'll go ahead
He's
and
done
release
good.
them,
You did good.
and we'll see the 3 left on the board here. Thomas, who do we got here on the D&D Mountain Top 10?
All right, number 10 breaking in this week, moving up one spot, the Shelby Valley Wildcats, 3-1. Now, before we go any further, let's talk about this. There's 20 people that vote on this poll, correct? Yeah. So don't just think this is Darryl and Dave sitting in a room. This is 20.
I don't even see it until we put it up here.
Yeah. So we take and 20 independent viewers, that is D&D sports staff, media people, the whole 9 yards, combined to do this. So number 9, Pike Central setting 4-0 with the big win over Powell County. Greenup County sitting at number 8, 3-1. Mingo coming in at number 7, 3-0. Johnson Central dropped a spot even after the impressive win. They're 2-2. Belfry dropped 2 spots. They're 2-2 as well. Scott jumped up 2 spots with the impressive win over Sissonville, 59-14. The Scott Skyhawks now sitting at 3-0. Number 3, dropping 1 spot, is Pikeville, 2-2 on the season. Then creeping up 2 spots is the Raceland Rams, and they received 1 first-place vote, and so did Scott. I should have said that. They're 2-1. And setting atop the D&D Sports Top 10, Ashland receiving 18 first-place votes at 4-0. The Ashland Tomcats.
So Paul actually got 8 of them.
Yeah.
And the only 2 that he left is, I can't blame him, Greenup County and Scott.
Yep. The 2 West Virginia teams.
Yeah. Well, Greenup County is...
it's northern.
Yeah. So those are the only 2. But who was the others receiving votes?
Dropped out of the top 10 was Wayne this week. But others receiving votes was those Man Hillbillies sitting at number... they got 15 votes. Wayne got 13 votes. Lawrence County with 9 votes, Fleming County with 8, Prestonsburg received 3, Betsy Lane with 2, and Letcher Central with 2, rounding out the teams that received votes, Darryl.
Man was 2 votes shy of being in the top 10. And then, let's see, at Wayne, I always hate this when this happens to teams, but I think Wayne being idle this week cost them the top 10. I think the voters kind of set their mind.
Wayne should be in that top 10.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Wayne is really good.
I'll go ahead and apologize to Matt Warnock up in Greenup County. Yeah, he's the newly elected county attorney up there, and that's who I hang out with at all these conferences. So I'll go ahead and apologize to him.
He got on. They on there though. So.
Yeah, that's and when you sit here and look, I mean, I'm trying to see like if there's anything that really upsets me about about this top 10. I personally I think I had Lawrence County I think instead of Shelby Valley, and even though Shelby Valley beat them, but I thought that win over Perry was a really good win. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting. I mean, because I think Lawrence County and Wayne and Fleming County, I mean, they're having a year. Definitely, I could see them creeping in that top 10 soon. But with Mingo Central, I mean, still holding tight at that number 7 position. You took care of business this week. And then if you can beat a team that's right there knocking on the top 10 door in man, and you never know if one of them teams, drop a game. If Johnson Central drops a game, you could see Mingo Central jump up, to near that top 5.
That'd be awesome.
You gotta take care of business first,
right?
Me,
yeah, you know me. I don't get into the rankings and stuff. I just like to play ball.
Anything you disagree with it on, Paul?
No, I don't follow, I guess, high school football as much as I used to. I mean, up until about 3 or 4 years ago, I could tell you players on every team, the records, and everything else.
You're a little busy these days.
Yeah, I just don't have the time to follow it like I used to. So if it wasn't for you all, I wouldn't get to keep up with any of it.
Yeah. Well, that and listen, I mean, Shelby Valley, Russ Osborne, and them, you know, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. You know, they got this Perry Central team is a team that can beat Shelby Valley. You know, so,
I agree.
I agree. They got the tools, and what's his name? Number 10 from Perry, receiver
Kilburn.
Kilburn, something like
Kilburn.
that. Kilburn, yeah, that's stud.
Yeah, that's it. He
I mean, he's so smooth.
He is.
You got Kaiser
Sloan
right there. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a stud.
Yeah, they got a really good line. They got a couple good wideouts. I mean, this is a team, you know, that this Perry team, I think, you know, I mean, they went down Lawrence County. Lawrence County, you know, I mean, basically Shelby Valley went down there and pissed them off, and then Perry Central had to play them the very next week.
Yeah.
And so I think that was the situation there. And I was shocked that they held in with Bell County as close as they did. I mean, that was a 4-point ball game.
Yeah. Bell County, you know, it's not in our coverage area, but they're one of the top teams in the mountain, top 10 for WYMT as well.
Still rolling it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then, you know, so that was definitely, I mean, something that I was like, you know, whenever I seen that top 10 come out, I mean, when you can only disagree with one spot, you know that's a pretty good top 10.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I always use the argument, okay, if you say you deserve to be in, who do you take out?
Right.
You know, tell me who you're going to take out to put your team in. So, I mean, you like I said, 10 through 15, 9 through 15, you could switch them in and out all day long.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree 100%. And then, real quick, guys, passing leaders in the mountains. Russ Osborne is the number 1 passing leader. Matt Fry's number 2. LeBron Strader 3. Kaiser Sloan 4. Carter Parsons 5. Rhett Holbrook 6. Landry Collette 7. We have Brady Manuus from Estill County 8. Abram Norden from Rowan County is at 9, and Aiden Cooper from Lewis County is 10. Now this, they're added up by yardage first. Chris Ross from Mingo Central, interesting thing, David. Chris Ross actually has the second most touchdowns with 8 touchdowns, and he got 556 yards passing. He's 20 yards shy of making the top 10. But in every other statistic and even his completion percentage, he ranks right up there with the top 3.
Yeah, he played 1 quarter.
Yeah.
Which, hey, listen, and he don't never look at this stuff. He's just a leader.
Yeah.
So that's what I really love about him too.
Well, Russian leaders: Jacob Rose from Prestonsburg, Tyson Salmons, Greenup County, Dalton Maggard, Leslie County, Austin Trent, Fleming County, Andrew McCutcheons and Betsy Lane, Caden Woolen Belfry, Dwalin Dean from West Carter, Jameer Knuckles jumping up in the Russian leaders at number 8, Rhett Holbrook 9 from Boyd County, and B.J. Peterson from Floyd Central comes in the top 10. And receiving yardage, we got to see this kid, Julian Puente. This kid's the real deal. I mean, he's kind of like what's the dude's name that played for Notre Dame and then went to the Lions? Little short receiver.
St. Pierre, something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that.
It's a hyphenated name.
Yeah. And then he reminds you of that kind of receiver, like just like Steve Smith. You know, he's a lot like him. He's small, he's compact, but he's speedy, shifty. Braden Clark from Scott was 2. Michael Hall, East Carter 3. Noah Kilburn, the guy we was talking about, Perry Central, coming in at 4. Landon Johnson at 5. Anderson Loffer for Paintsville, 296 yards. Listen, I seen this kid's stats, and I can't remember exactly how it went, but going into last week, he had like 4 touchdowns. He had 4 receptions over 80 yards. All 4 of his receptions. He had like 4 receptions, and it was all over 80 yards and touchdowns.
Oh, wow.
So, interesting thing, Cole Hicks from Boyd County 7, Brandon Houston Ashland at 8, Brady Bentley 9, and Isaiah Allen 10 from Betsy Lane. And then receptions, definitely receptions. Julian Puente had 30 receptions. And then on tackles, Brian Pugh from Leslie County, Madden Miller from Martin County, Braden McGlone from Lewis County, Phoenix Eddington at Perry Central, Malachi Anderson, Pike Central, Jeremiah Anderson, Pikeville, Deontay Stevens, Pikeville, Garrett Howard, Letcher Central, Lucas Howard, Paintsville, Stevie Todd Lane, Eastridge, is tied for 6th. Then you had Race Lyndon Hazard, Crayson Lafferty at 8 from Paintsville. Also, guys, Kane Grimm has 42 tackles for Paintsville as well. And then Carden Holmes from Greenup County is at 9, and Robert Collins and Kobe Johnson from Shelby Valley and Letcher, both tied at that 10 spot.
Hey, there's no need to go to KHSAA website and scour through all them stats. Just go to dndsports.com. We do all the work for you.
Yeah, for you guys, you can go right now. And, that's the interesting thing. You can go to dndsports.com. You can get all that info on our statisticals leader article. And, that's the thing that makes me more prouder than anything. We was up at Raceland this weekend, and one of the Raceland coaches said, one of the neatest things that you guys do, he said, is you make me care about a kid in Scott, West Virginia. He said, he said it's neat how y'all have made the entire mountains a family, West Virginia and Kentucky. So, that's one of the things we're more proud of than anything, because this involves West Virginia and Kentucky teams.
Absolutely.
So, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get to the favorite part of the show, where I really burned David's rear here with the picks, and we're going to go into some pigskin pick'em when we come back. Come right back and join us here on Crunch Time.
This is where it all started, right here on this farm. We may have grown over the years, but we've never lost sight of what was important to us. We're continuing that tradition today, and we always will be, for generations to come.
If you're looking for a great selection and a great experience for your next Harley-Davidson, come on down to Mountain State Harley-Davidson here in Del Barton, West Virginia.
We have new 2023 models in stock and ready for delivery. Special financing available.
Or choose pre-owned with one of the largest inventories in the tri-state area with great low prices.
Visit our showroom filled with licensed Harley-Davidson apparel and more.
Don't write that check until you check with us, Mountain State Harley-Davidson, 61 Priest Bottom Road, or visit us online at mountainstatehd.com.
Looking for a great selection, great prices, and a great experience on your next ATV, motorcycle, or side-by-side? Come check out Kiefer's Kawasaki.
Our #1 goal is to offer you the best power sport experience at a great price.
Like this new 23 Kawasaki Teryx 4 for only $17,999. Before you write that check, check with us. And remember, your adventure starts here at Kiefer Kawasaki. Route 44 South, Jerry West Highway in Logan, or visit KiefersPowersports.net.
Here at Logan Bank and Trust, we are committed to serving the needs of the southern coalfields. So if you need to borrow money, remember, we are just a click away.
Here at LB&T, we make online banking easy.
We've taken the hassle out of applying for a loan on our new website. It's as simple as going to our lbnt.com website and choosing the loan product that best suits your needs.
Your loan on your time. Visit us at lbnt.com. You're only a click away.
So if you need to borrow money, remember, we are just a click away. It's easy to apply online at lbnt.com, and all decisions are made locally. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Let the folks at Double Quick help you start your 2022 off right. They've brought back the Bourbon Pecan Coffee for a limited time only. You can also quench your thirst with the great deals on fountain drinks they offer daily. Double Quick is your one-stop shop for everything. They offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can stop by one of their many storefront locations spread throughout eastern Kentucky. Stop by and let Double Quick make your day better.
Crunch time. Pigskin pick'em.
Crunch time live in Pikeville, Kentucky from Paul Howard Jr.'s Pike County Attorney Office here. David Jones, I'm Darryl McCoy, the Maestro Thomas Rainey on the boards, and we do got the county attorney in the building, Paul Howard, over here to my left. Paul, I would like to say it is very nice to be in this office and not on the other side of the desk.
Well, you brought it up. I wasn't going to mention it.
That's funny, because when I called, I was like, where's it at? He was telling me, I was like, well, I wouldn't know. I knew you would.
Listen, my younger days, I spent a lot of time in this place. And listen, thank the good Lord above, is all I can say. Yep, the God is good. So as we got Pigskin Pick'em coming up here, this is the favorite time. As you know, David don't pick the Mingo games, so we're going to go through, and Thomas, you pop them up there, and we'll go through them.
So weekly game previews, right?
No, yeah.
Here we go. Well, we ain't gonna waste no time. We're gonna jump right to it. Pikeville Belfry. How about that?
Pikeville Belfry. This one here, Belfry leads this series 39 to 38-2. That's the record. Pikeville won the last 4. Pikeville has never won 5 games in a row. As they sit here, they defeated Belfry in 4 straight from 1953 to 56, 1980 to 83. Belfry defeated Pikeville 13 straight from 2001 to 2013. Now, in this series, Haywood, you two may know a little thing about that. The Haywood is 27-12. Coach Mack is 6-12 against Belfry. Now, as you sit here, 7-2. Belfry is 7-2 at Haywood Field. They are 21-10 all time. As you sit here, series was actually played 4 times in Williamson back in the day. Pikeville won 3 of them, and they tied in 1949. They tied 7-7. Both teams, let's see, Belfry is 119-23 at Haywood Field. Pikeville beats Belfry and wins all time. 757 wins for the Pikeville Panthers. Belfry has 618. So this matchup right here, there's a lot of reasons that you could pick either team, and I think coming into this game, this is one of them years that, they're very close this year. I'm gonna let you pick first, Dave.
Well, I'll make it quick and simple. Give me Belfry.
All right. Ooh. The Maestro, who you got?
Oh, I'm picking for KJ.
No, you're picking.
Oh, I got. Well, KJ's the one that wins all the time.
Paul's the guest pick.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm going Pikeville.
Well, do you want to skip Pike County games? It's up to you if you want to pick them or not.
I'll pick them.
Okay.
I'm going with Pikeville.
Okay.
So we got Belfry, Pikeville. Who you got?
I think both teams have key starters out.
Yep. Pikeville has Brendan Anthony, and Belfry has Chase and Caden Varney.
Yes.
So, and I think ain't Tristan Chapman also out?
Yes. So he was the backup quarterback, and they had to move Willem to quarterback.
Well, that's fared pretty well. They won a state title with him back there.
They won a state title, but he had a lot of practice. They just pretty much threw him into it. I don't think he had any reps at quarterback. I think it's going to be very interesting. I just think Pikeville's young up front. I'm going to go with Belfry.
Going with Belfry. Well, as you said, Belfry has never won. Pikeville has never won 5 straight. So, if there's a time to break the streak, it's this year. And Belfry, just like in 2013, I think it was, when nobody was giving Pikeville a chance, Pikeville beat them. And Belfry, this is one of them when I think a lot of people are picking Pikeville. And so am I. Pikeville Panthers go to Pond Creek, and I think they get 5 straight. I think I just think right now with the Varney boys out that it's going to be too tough. For them out there, Caden Woolham under center. I think it's going to be a learning curve for him. And, yeah, I mean, we seen them try to put their star back in Isaac Dixon back there. It didn't go too well. So, I mean, I hope it goes well as a former Belfry guy. But, you know, I mean, I'm saying the Panthers take care of business in this one.
All right, Lewis, you heard that. Darryl picked Pikeville.
Yeah. Lewis, he has to be on here somewhere.
Yeah, I know. He's one of our loyal fans, and we have a lot of fun with him. All right, game 2. Floyd Central travels across the new road over to Betsy Lane now, 4-0. Who you got there?
You have to go with Floyd Central on this one.
Now, Betsy Lane comes in this game 4-0. Now, this is their best start since 2021 when they started 5-0. Only 5th time they've started the season 4-0. That was in 95, 2011, 2013, and 2021. Floyd Central is 3-1. It's their best. Their best start was 4-1 in 2017. The Jags lead this series 3-1. I think right now, just being honest, Betsy Lane. I think they're going to. I think this is one when they're going to kind of get exposed. I think they're a good Betsy Lane team, but you look at their schedule and it's Cupcake City, you know, and I just think that, you know, this is their first test. Now, if they take care of business here, then, you know, I'm going to be bought in Betsy Lane because I think Sean Hager's got a really good squad. But the one thing about Betsy Lane that I like is Carter Parsons at quarterback. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's having a heck of a year back there. You know, with that firepower, they may be able to, you know, outscore Floyd Central. But I think, you know, in the trenches is where the Jags are going to get this one.
Oh, you're coming to me. This is tough for me. My son went to both these schools.
Yeah. Amongst about 7 more.
Yeah, well, they went 3 there. Let's get it right. We're Floyd County All-Stars. We hit them all. I'm a Jared Jarrell fan. I am.
Too.
I'm telling you.
I like Coach Quillen, but.
Yeah, I do too. And Harley, I'm going to go Floyd Central. I just like what they're doing with the ball right now. We covered them. We got to see how they run the ball. I think the Shelton kid's doing great at quarterback. And they pound the ball, and before you know it, Brody Buck slipped behind the defense, and he's scoring a touchdown on a long pass. So I'm going with Floyd Central, even though my heart says Betsy Lane.
Uh-huh. Who we got, Paul?
Floyd Central.
You got Floyd Central, quick and easy.
All right, next up, we'll show the graphic one more time. We've got Leslie County and Clay County. Leslie County coming in 3-1. Clay County 4-0.
Give me Clay County. Clay County is unreal this year.
They sure are.
Yeah, listen, you got the fighting Tim Couches versus the fighting Richie Farmers here.
I'm with Richie all day.
I'm going with Leslie County. I think right now Landry Collette and them. I think they got
Leslie.
Yep. I think they got things. I think they got things rolling there. I mean, this is a season that I didn't think a lot of people thought was going to happen for Leslie County this year. But I've watched them a few times. This team is legit. They got a good quarterback, got a solid line, got a nice running back. I mean, and they play solid defensively. You know, I mean, they're solid across the board. So I'm taking Leslie County.
I would have said Leslie County until I was on the C.J. Howard show Sunday, and I got to speak to the folks from Clay.
Clay's good.
Clay's real good. Yes. From what I've heard.
They're
Clay.
really,
so,
really
you know, again, I want to go with Leslie, but I got to go with Clay at home.
Who you got, Paul?
Clay.
You got Clay. Okay.
All right, back over to the graphic. We have the 4th game, Jenkins at 0-3 versus Clinton County 1-2.
I don't know anything about Clinton County, but listen, I'm going with Damian Johnson and the Cavaliers.
I'll go with Jenkins.
Give me Clinton County.
All right.
I don't know anything about either team.
Jenkins
is closer.
It's their first year. That's why I'm taking them. It's the first year back as a football team. So.
All right. Next up is Johnson Central 2-2 versus at Doan Community, Ohio.
Yeah, Don.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's on a Saturday, right?
Didn't say on here, so I'm assuming
on a Saturday, but give me JC.
Johnson Central's always got these games like this where they play on a Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, and
I'm glad we mentioned that. So, I got to watch the BS.
Yeah, well,
documentary.
Yeah. I was gonna talk about that later.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
We'll talk about that
I ain't gonna
right
say
before we
nothing.
leave the show.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Johnson Central.
Johnson Central.
I'm taking the Golden Eagles too. I think Carter Conley back. I think. I mean, listen.
Hold on, Mike said it's Friday.
Oh, it is
Johnson
Friday.
Central game is Friday.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so the listen, I think now that they're not, they don't have McCoy back, but they got Carter Conley. They got their big hitter back.
Yeah.
I think that's enough to take care of Don.
All right, let's go. Next game. Tug Valley 2-1 coming in at Eastridge 2-1. Boy, I'd have loved to cover that game.
Give me Tug Valley. Where's it at?
At Eastridge.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna be covering no games over there.
No, sadly, but it's
they really need to fix that, honestly.
Yeah.
For them kids over there, because I go ahead. I ain't even gonna vent.
You got Stevie Todd Lane, you got Isaiah Atkins. I mean, you got stars over there on
Nobody
the
is getting
team.
to see them.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
And
that's very sad, dude. Like that is not good for those kids.
I promise you, and I'm not going to go into it, but I promise it's not on our behalf. We try, So and we love Coach Burdine. I mean, he's a great dude. But in this game here, I just think Tug Valley, they've kind of found their magic in the bottle. I think that they're clicking right now.
I'm going to take Eastridge.
Eastridge.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Didn't see that one coming.
Paul's going with the votes, man.
I guess that's the political answer, yeah.
No, I think they pulled the upset at home. All right, South Laurel 3-1 at Estill County 3-1.
Yeah, Estill.
I'll take Estill. All right, next up is Fairview, who is 0-4 versus Greene, Ohio 1-3.
I'm going Fairview. I think Fairview gets their first win in this one.
I do too.
Give me Greene, Ohio.
Now, at the rate you're going to be running for governor one day. So Fairview's in your constituent there.
All right, next up, Lawrence County 2-1 at Harlan County 0-4. Give me the Bulldogs.
Give me Lawrence County.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I think Harlan County's down.
Lawrence County.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, next up is the D&D Sports. Oh, this is Friday night football, right? Friday night football. Breathitt County 1-3 at Hazard 1-3, and both of those records, Darryl, are totally deceiving because they're not 1-3 teams.
Yeah, they're both solid. They played, they play good teams. But I just think that, I think Breathitt, I've seen Breathitt where I've thought, okay, Breathitt, this is a really solid team. Hazard, they're struggling right now offensively to find their identity, and I'm taking Breathitt County.
I'm going Hazard at home.
That 2 yards of total offense, I'm going to have to go with Hazard.
Okay.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to go with Breathitt. Just by knowing, who Hazard has played already, knowing them. So I'm going to go Breathitt.
Okay.
All right, next up is Phelps sitting at 1-2 versus Knott Central 1-3.
We get Knott Central.
Yeah, I think these two communities, they're two of the communities that know struggle. Knott Central, the flood has wiped them out down there. But, I think Phelps got their first win last week.
Yeah, congratulations to them big time.
Yeah, great job by them. But I don't think they get their second this week, Knott Central.
I'm pulling for Phelps.
Yeah, I'm going to go Knott Central at home.
Okay.
Here's another game we looked at covering there. We just didn't have a crew to put there. It's Martin County at McGoffin County.
Give me Martin County.
This one's tough, man. I mean, I'm every week, I'm like, okay, Coach Darryl, I'm a believer in him. He's going to get things going, but after I went and studied the film of the Russell game, and I think right now this team is a very rough team right now there, and I think they got a little bit of ways to go before they get their first win. I think Martin County takes care of business.
I'm torn on Martin County up and down. We saw them; they beat Paintsville.
We don't really know what they are yet.
No, you keep waiting to see. I'm gonna go with McGoffin County to pull off the upset. Get on the board at home.
Martin County.
And the thing about Martin County is they got studs.
Oh, yeah.
It's just when's it going to click.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, next up is Greenup County sitting at 3-1 against Montgomery County 2-2.
Greenup County.
Yeah, Greenup County all day.
Greenup County.
Greenup.
All right, Western Hills 3-0 at Morgan County 3-1.
Western Hills.
Yeah, well, David knows more about that area up there where he was up there.
He's the new head coach at Western Hills, and
now ain't that where Wandale Robinson was from?
Yeah, he's a stud. He's got them kids playing for him, and they're doing a real good job. They got a big defensive tackle right now that's got all kinds of D1 offers. He's just like a junior.
Well, Morgan County 3-1. I mean, them not to be playing in district play, they're doing a good job. Yeah. Nah, I'm picking Western Hills. Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm sorry. I'm going. I'll go Western Hills.
Western Hills.
All right, Prestonsburg 3-1 at Pike Central. Everybody's been wanting us to pick this one.
This is one. I mean, listen.
All right, Pike Central.
Yeah, Pike Central. This right here. I mean, it's
It's at Pike Central.
At Pike Central.
It's put
offense versus defense. I'd look at it.
Yeah, you can look at it that way, and I do think this is going to be a close game. And you always like to have a kicker that can, that's got a 45-yard leg. So with that being said, I think Black Cats go in there and bust some tail.
He gotta go home. he gotta go home.
Yeah. I'm going Prestonsburg.
I'm going Pike Central.
You going Pike Central?
I'm going Pike Central also.
And listen, I bet against Jameer Knuckles 3 times this year, and he's made me pay every time. So Pike Central wins this. It would not. I mean, that kid, he's got something special. He's got that chip right here.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go with Highlands 3-1 at Raceland 2-1.
Give me Highlands. I've seen Highlands play Lex Calf this year, and they look really good. Give me Highlands. They got the big UK recruit also tight end. Give me Highlands.
You got to.
I just think they're bigger. They're a bigger program too.
You got to watch this being a trap game. Right after Pikeville was the big Super Bowl. I know Highlands.
Not for them Catholics.
Oh well, I know Highlands is. Highlands is a team that normally always is a powerhouse, but I think right now I'm riding the Rams wave. I think Logan Lundy and them is going to outscore them.
I'm going Highlands.
I'm going Highlands.
All right, next up, Mason County 2-2 at Rowan County 1-3.
Mason County.
This is tough. Both of them are struggling this year. I'm going with Rowan just to be different.
Give me the Royals, right? Mason County is the Royals, yeah.
Chris Lofton.
I don't know much about either team, so I'll go with Mason. They got the better record.
Yeah.
Well, Rowan's our coverage area, so I'm rolling with them.
All right, next up, the number 1 team in the D&D Sports Top 10, Ashland, sitting at 4-0, travels to take on Russell, 2-2.
Ashland.
This is a huge rivalry game up in that area.
Ashland knows them one, actually, don't they?
Yeah. This is a huge rivalry game. Russell, I mean, if it's going to happen, this is one where it could happen, but at the end of the day, I think Richardson Cruz is, they got one star on Russell's team. I think Ashland's got a locker room full of stars. I'm going with Ashland big.
I'm going with the upset. Give me Russell at home. Rivalry game, go with the home team.
Ashland.
Ashland. They're the number one team for a reason.
I know. All right. Game of the week. The Citizens Bank game of the week. Perry Central 2-2 at Shelby Valley 3-1.
If it's at Shelby Valley, I'm gonna go Valley.
Ooh. Your
Valley.
turn. You go, Darryl.
I
see what he does on the tough games. He wants to go last. He's hedging his bet, right?
I think you're just going to see a step up in class here. I think Perry Central is 4A. I think that Shelby Valley's 2A. I think that I'm going to take I'm going to take a middle of the pack 4A team against a team that's hedging on that top cylinder in 2A. I just think that Perry Central, I think they can throw the bodies at them, and I think defensively, they got some good DBs. I think they got a line that can get out there and put some pressure on Osborne, and I think the Commodores go into Shelby Valley and get the win here.
I'm going Shelby Valley.
Valley.
All right, next up, 2-3 teams, Powell County and West Carter, but both of them have had very close losses here lately.
Yeah.
We saw Powell County, Darryl.
We did, and I think Powell County, they're a solid team. They're solid, but listen. I think Coach Barker is a good coach, and I think he's bound to get it rolling sometime, and why not this week? So I'm taking West Carter.
I'm with you. I'm going to go West Carter.
I'd like to know if the back from Powell's back. He was injured.
He wasn't this past week,
he wasn't.
No, but they still played him close. So
man, he was good.
Yeah,
he was
real
good. I'm gonna go Powell.
West Carter.
All right, next up, Letcher County 2-2 travels to Wise Central Virginia 2-2. I'm going Letcher.
I'm going Letcher.
That one's quick and easy. Spring Valley 0-3, Hurricane 2-1.
Give me Hurricane.
Give me Spring Valley.
I'm going Hurricane. All right, David, you don't get a pick in this one. Man 3-0, Mingo 3-0. Who you got, Darryl?
Man is 4-1 versus Mingo. Mingo is 0-3 at Man. Harvey Arms has 118 wins at Man. He's second all time in Logan County to the middle school coach legend Tootie Carter with 200 wins. I think this right here, I think both teams are coming in, on fire. I think, they both of them are highly ranked. I think that, it's one of them situations, Mingo Central's putting a lot of points up right now. And I think, they're gonna go over there, and I think they're finally going to play a good team, and Man's gonna beat them.
Give me the Hillbillies. I'm going with the Hillbillies.
I was going to give him extra motivation. Yep.
Paul?
Since everybody else is going against you, I got you. Mingo Central.
Your QB's got you.
Let's go.
Yep. I'm telling you that this game right here, a lot of eyes are on it, and I hope that we get to do this game.
I'm hoping.
For the players at Mingo and the ones at Man mainly, because they've never got this spotlight, and they played to get here.
They're number one in 1A in single A.
Yeah, listen, they need this. I hope, they got a great administration there. I hope we can come to terms and get this one done for people.
All right, next up is our friends at West Side 1-2 taking on Pike. No, I'm sorry, I jumped to one. Our good friends at Chapmanville's 2-1 going to Nitro 2-1, and we're working. This game will be on the D&D Sports Network, I believe. I think I've got it worked out.
Okay.
See, Dave, that's behind the scenes stuff there.
I'm
Nitro and Chapmanville. Nitro is full of athletes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go Chapmanville because I just think Chapmanville, they have all played together for a while.
I think I'm like you. My head's telling me to go Nitro.
Right.
My heart's telling me to go Chapmanville. Because I just think Chapmanville. It's going to come down to who's tougher, and I think them boys at Chapmanville are as tough as they come.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going Chapmanville.
All
right, next up. Now we're going to our friends at West Side 1-2 and Pikeview 0-3.
West Side.
Give me West Side.
Just like Tupac said, West Side is the best side. I'm rolling with West Side.
West Side.
Yeah.
All right. The Wildcats of Logan at 1-1 travel up to take on Polka at 1-2. Give me Logan.
No. I'm going Polka.
Yeah, I got Polka in this one.
Logan.
I'm going Logan, yeah. All right, Van setting at 1-2. Tulsa at 0-2. Who you got, Darryl?
Who now?
Van 1-2. Tulsa 0-2. Van. All right, and another game you'll get to see right here on D&D Sports. Wayne setting at 1-1 versus Winfield 2-1. Winfield.
Give me Winfield.
Oh, I didn't know that's who Winfield was playing.
Yeah, that'd be a good game.
It's going to be a good game.
You want to trade with me?
Yeah, we'll have it. I'm going with the Pioneers, Wayne.
I'm going for Wayne.
Winfield.
Does Wayne still run the ball?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go Wayne.
All right.
And that rounds out all the games for this week.
Listen, this is going to be a great week in football, guys. Make sure you guys get out to your local area. I don't care where it's at, and you support your local high school athletes. If you don't have anything to do, listen, if you're sitting at home, you got kids in college, go to a game, or even if you're too busy, stop by, buy a hot dog or something, support the kids in athletics. David, you was talking about BS High.
Mm-hmm.
BS High, the HBO documentary on
Bishop Sycamore.
Yeah, Bishop Sycamore. I don't know if you guys remember, but Bishop Sycamore was the school that wasn't a school.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you right now, their coach has so many issues.
Listen,
I'm not going to even tell it.
You will be prosecuting him one day.
Yeah, no lie.
Like he is a psycho.
This dude has no lie. It was 30-some lawsuits against him.
Yeah.
30 some law, and he'll look, man. This dude is wicked.
Yeah, I mean,
it's on HBO.
It's on. You can get it
watch
on Disney Plus also, I think.
Is it on there?
Yeah, it's on HBO too.
And remember, the reason this is a big story in the mountains is because they was set to play Johnson Central the week that they got exposed. So Coach Matney, they were supposed to have played them then, and then I think that's when he got sick too. And but they were supposed to play Johnson Central, and it come out that they wasn't real because they got exposed against IMG the week before on ESPN.
So just a little insight on there, you will see Johnson Central's name in the documentary.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that is pretty cool.
Yeah. So
but they wasn't the only Kentucky team on that roster. Put it that way.
Yeah. That's that. But go and see. If you get a chance, go watch that. I promise you, won't regret it.
Mike Conley said that they played them before that too. They played them before.
Oh. Wow.
So they've already played them with those JUCO kids.
Yeah.
These are some grown men playing. But the bad part is they was getting smacked up by high school kids. So, but it's a really good. It's called BS. It's called BS High.
Yeah. So it's something I highly recommend to any sports fan.
Please watch it. And when you watch it, I promise you, you're gonna be like therapists like myself. As soon as I watch it, I start diagnosing. He's bipolar. He's schizophrenic. He got so many different personalities. But he really believes himself. This dude really believes, and he is so harp on. Do I look like a con artist? Do I look like a con artist? I'm thinking like, yeah, actually you do.
Yeah,
you are. You come on the biggest sports network in the world, ESPN. That is wild.
Yeah. I want you to watch that, Paul, and then call me and tell me your thoughts on that guy, and tell me that this guy isn't going. If he don't go to jail for something soon, he's going to kill somebody someday.
Well, I'm not even. I won't say it, but your predictions is already right. I'm not going to say it because I watched it all. Your predictions is already right.
I gotta go watch it.
I'm not talking. Yeah, that's why I'm not going to say nothing. But your
prediction
is
they
all
got
right.
They got on ESPN to play what IMG, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they played the hard, like Max Preps come on there. And the dude that makes all the schedule, he said that was one of the hardest schedules ever that he's ever made was with them.
Wow.
And they won that many games.
And you just hate it for the kids, because those are kids that he went and sold their parents on coming to that prep school.
Yes, it's sad.
And now they can't ever go to college. They don't have because they didn't go to high school.
No.
They don't have a high school education.
Just put it this way, Hugh Jackson, which y'all know he used to coach in NFL.
Yeah, Eagle.
And Cincinnati Bengals and all them.
Yep.
And he's a head coach at Grambling State. He actually recruited a kid in this process, and I'm gonna let y'all watch it to see what happened.
Oh wow!
It's crazy,
it's
crazy.
Wow.
I mean, it was the saddest thing that I could ever witness, and and it messed with them kids' mental health.
Oh yeah, there's some kids on there that's really messed up for the rest of their life because of this, and it was the stuff that they done. Like and not to bust it, but like he was going and getting loans out in these kids' names. Wow. Going signing up for food stamp cards. He was making the kids go steal food from Walmart and bring back so they could eat. Yeah. It's wild. Go watch it. Yeah, the
college pick'em.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We got the college pick'em real quick. Here we go. Are you ready? Akron at Kentucky.
Does it got point spreads on there or not?
26. Kentucky's 26-point favorite.
Do they cover?
They'll cover that.
Yeah, I think they bounce back this week. I think I think they cover.
No, I don't think they cover.
I don't think they cover.
That's a bunch of points.
Yeah.
That's a bunch. Western Kentucky travels up and plays this little team up in Ohio State.
Yeah.
Ohio State's a 29-point favorite.
I think Ohio State will win, but they won't cover
that. Now, who did Ohio State play?
Western Kentucky.
29 points?
Yeah.
Ohio State covered.
I think they do, too.
I don't think they do.
Okay. Pittsburgh, 1-1. West Virginia, 1-1. Pick 'em.
This is the backyard brawl.
Yeah, here we go.
Virginia in this one.
Yeah, I listen. Hey, let's go Neil Brown.
I'm going for West Virginia.
West Virginia.
It's at home, so when in doubt, go with the home team, right? Louisville 2-0, Indiana 1-1. Louisville is a 10-point favorite.
Give me Indiana. I'm not going to pick Louisville.
It's in Indy.
Now, what's the spread?
10. Louisville.
I don't think Indiana is going to. I don't think they're going to cover that.
I'll go Louisville.
Right.
Yeah, I'll take Louisville. UPike at home, 1-2, 6.5-point favorite over Faulkner, Alabama.
Give me UPike covering that.
Yeah, I think UPike.
They play some good football down in Alabama.
Yeah, but it's not for the Crimson Tide.
No,
Faulkner's not the Crimson Tide, Darryl.
I'm going to go with Coach Phipps and the Bears.
UPike. All right, that's got it. We got to look at the college top 10, Darryl.
Huh?
The college top 10.
That's not an updated one.
Oh, okay. All
so
right.
as we're sitting here, Paul, I want to thank you for having us here, man. And one of the, as I said, I'm I'm from Pike County, and it's near and dear to my heart. But one thing that I've noticed since you've been in office, Pike County is getting cleaned up, and I know you have to have help from your sheriff's department and all that. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to you, Tommy May, Robbie Wright, the judges. It's just a lot. I think Pike County's a lot more safer than it was, 2 years ago.
A lot of it has to do with the sheriff's department and the state police and the city police. And we all work great together. We do have the best judges, great to work with. Bill Sloan over the Commonwealth Attorney's office is great. Work well with him. I think we have a good team right now. And I think that's what's best for Pike County.
Yeah, that's and I love it. You can see the change, Dave.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. Yeah, you just feel a lot more comfortable living around here, and it's just big things happening, and it happens. You want to change your area, you want to change your county, you do it at the voting booth. So you guys remember that in the future. Paul Howard Jr. has always been here since day one, supporting our mountain athletes. He's still to this day supporting us left and right, making sure that we're able to continue to grow this thing. And he's had as much influence as anybody out there on this. So that's one reason, and one of many reasons to make sure that you continue to back this man in the future. But Paul, I appreciate you having us up here, man. It was it's one of them. As you continue to grow, doing one in the Pike County's attorney's office, especially with the background that I had in my early days, it's something special, So, I'm glad for you to join us here today, talk football, and I hope you come back on soon.
Hey, you're welcome, and thank you all for coming over. I had fun. I really appreciate it. Next time I might have a little more knowledge on high school football.
Well, we put you on the spot.
Well, listen, Friday night, are you wearing bright red or a darker shade of red?
Oh, I'll be wearing red. That's the 20th anniversary of the first state championship.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So and if I'm not mistaken, ain't you sponsoring that game? Or? Yeah. So guys, make sure you go over to Pond Creek, support the Pikeville Panthers and Belfry Pirates. As hopefully they give you one of the best games of the year. Both of these teams got kids that's going to put it all on the line. It's a rivalry amongst. It's one of the best rivalries, period, that we got in the mountains. I promise you don't want to miss that one. So make the short drive over to Pond Creek and support both teams. Guys, want to thank you once again for tuning in. You can watch Perry Central versus Shelby Valley here on the Citizens Bank Game of the Week. You can watch Hazard versus Breathitt County on Friday Night Football. We also have Winfield versus Wayne and Sissonville versus...
You put me on the spot. Clark County, I think.
Is it Clark County? Sissonville versus Clark County, and we'll hope we'll have another game on for you guys.
We got Chapmanville. I think Chapmanville will be covered.
Chapmanville Nitro. We will also have courtesy of our friends at RSN and HD Media. Guys, once again, we want to thank you for tuning in to Crunch Time. Till next time, so long and good night.
Yes, sir.